Welcome to another episode of Parable Thursdays. Today, we look at a parable that touches the heart and reminds us of the mercy God shows to every one of us. This is the parable of the unforgiving servant. The setting begins with a question from Peter in Matthew chapter 18 verse 21. Then came Peter to him and said, Lord, how oft shall my brother sin against me, and I shall forgive him? Till 7 times? Peter wanted to know how many times he should forgive someone who hurts or disappoints him. Jesus answered in Matthew chapter 18 verse 22, I say not unto thee until 7 times, but until 70 times 7. Jesus was not telling Peter to count up to a number. He was teaching that forgiveness should not be limited or measured, because God does not limit His forgiveness toward us. To explain this truth, Jesus tells a parable. Matthew chapter 18 verses 23 to 24 says, Therefore is the kingdom of heaven likened unto a certain king, which should take account of his servants. And when he had begun to reckon, one was brought unto him, which owed him 10,000 talents. This debt was far beyond anything this servant could repay. It is like a sin before God. We could never clear it on our own. The servant fell before the king. Matthew chapter 18 verse 26 says, The servant therefore fell down and worshipped him, saying, Lord, have patience with me, and I will pay thee all. The king showed great compassion. Matthew chapter 18 verse 27 says, Then the Lord of that servant was moved with compassion and loosed him and forgave him the debt. The entire debt was erased. This is a picture of the mercy God gives freely to those who come to Him. But the story takes a shocking turn. Matthew chapter 18 verse 28 says, But the same servant went out and found one of his fellow servants, which owed him 100 pence, and he laid hands on him and took him by the throat, saying, Pay me that thou owest. The second servant begged with almost the same verse, but the forgiven servant refused to show mercy. He cast the man into prison. When the king heard what happened, he was grieved. Matthew chapter 18 verses 32 to 33 says, Then his Lord, after that he had called him, said unto him, O the wicked servant, I forgave thee all that debt, because thou desirest meat. Shouldest not thou also have had compassion on thy fellow servant, even as I had pity on thee? Jesus ends with a reminder. Matthew chapter 18 verse 35 says, So likewise shall my heavenly Father do also unto you, if ye from your hearts forgive not every one his brother their trespasses. This parable teaches that God has forgiven us more than we can ever measure. And because He has shown us such mercy, we are called to forgive others sincerely, freely, and from the heart. If you like this parable and its explanation, do share it with people who would find it useful. If you would like to see more parables along with their explanations, do check out our YouTube channel. We come up with new parables and their explanations every Thursday. God bless.